all of the stuff that you've told them to do, while they could do it on their own, I'm going to tell them right now, just hire Juan. Save yourself the brain damage, save yourself the time, the extreme headache that it will cost you, and hire Juan, and he will take care of it. He's done it for us. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is my pleasure today to have our very special friend, partner, and guest, Juan Perlan. We're doing multiple projects together. Juan is a local, real estate specialist, salesman. I'll let him tell you about all of the great stuff he does, but we're on maybe our 9th or 10th project together.
We are on the 9th or 10th project,
Yeah, so Juan, say hi to everybody.
Hi everybody, my name is Juan Perlan. Welcome to Puerto Rico, and thank you, Robert, for inviting me to your podcast. I've been in Puerto Rico for a lot of years. In the real estate business, I've been working about 10 years. I used to be an entrepreneur. I had my own business for a lot of years. Early in my life, I know that working for somebody was not my thing.
That's a theme here.
Yeah, most of the people of my generation like to that. But since I love the real estate business, I met Robert. One of the things that I love about Robert and his group, they're trying to help you and they teach you how to do business the way they do in the States. Puerto Rico market is different.
It's quite a bit different.
It's quite a bit different. And there is some troubles when the people come from the States to Puerto Rico and they don't understand what's going on here. So that's when I came in and tried to help Robert, and that's what we will start doing deals.
Yeah.
So it get easy for him to do deals, and it's easy for me to bring money as a salesperson. So that's where we start.
Yeah, you've put together a couple of things that I think only you could do, right? Like the project that we bought from you up on the hill in Naguabo. From 8 or 9 heirs, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember how many, but it was a lot of different checks, and you managed to get everybody at the same place at the same time. We bought the mortgage and the note, and we paid off all of the heirs. How do you find these deals that are estates, or people would say abandoned properties, but we know the truth is they're not abandoned, they've just been inherited by heir after heir after heir, and then there's a process to try and go through and find, and it's really difficult, but you're very good at it. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Okay, now let's start with, if you come to Puerto Rico first, you have to decide which property you want to buy. If you want to buy a property to flip, or if you want to buy a property to invest in the property. The second thing you have to consider is how you want to do it. If you want to do it by yourself and pass all the troubles that you're going to pass, because you're going to pass a lot of trouble, or if you're going to find a guy in Puerto Rico that knows all the things that will take you to the project. First thing you have to do is find the owner of the property. And that's what the guys, when come here, they don't find the owner of the property, but they don't know where to look at.
Right.
Yeah, the first thing you have to do is go to property tax website. It's called El CRIM. Right there, you're gonna find a list of properties, and they have a number. That number is called catastro. The catastro. The catastro is the identification for properties in Puerto Rico. All the properties in Puerto Rico have a catastro name. The catastro name is not from the CRIM, the property tax is not updated. So sometimes you go over there and you don't find the owner. So the way to do it is, second thing is go to the property and ask the guys around, who is the owner of that property? Right. For that, you have to have some local guy, because you're gonna have a problem with the language.
I would have more difficulty getting the community to talk to me than you would.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that we have identified properties that we wanted because they were next to something we owned, or in a building that we were buying many units in there. And we've spent years looking for people, and you've helped us out a few times and really sped up the process. So we're grateful for that.
I'm gonna explain it the way to do it, because it's good for me and it's good for you guys too. So, and that's a process that you can do it yourself and pass the nightmare to do yourself, or you can hire guys like us, or just ask the guys out, because we are willing to give the information. It's not a problem. So you got to the CRIM as a first choice, then you got go into the property, ask around. When the people, if you ask around that you're gonna buy that property and convert that, change that property to a property that's gonna be good, people like it because that property is abandoned. Robert told you a very important thing. There's no such thing as abandoned properties in Puerto Rico. If the inherited people that inherit the property, you don't find that property owners, then the municipality gets the first choice. If the municipality doesn't want the property, then it gets to the states. So the states, the ELA, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, is the owner of the properties that nobody wants. So when they told you there's an abandoned property nobody owns, that's not true. You have to find the information. And you're gonna find the information if you look for the CRIM, for the people around, for the lease, because most of the properties that are abandoned, they have an owner, no? It could be the bank, foreclosure, but the bank's having problem finding the owners, but they have to go to the judge and they have to ask permission to the judge to start doing the inheritance work, the heirs, no? There have to be paperwork. It's not like in the States. In Puerto Rico, you have a register. It's called Registro de la Propiedad, property register, that every property has a number over there too. So that's a second choice that you can use it. You can go to the CRIM as a first choice, and you can go to the property register in Puerto Rico. Each property is registered from the beginning of the times of Puerto Rico, from the Spanish, no? Come from there. It's called the Tomo, Folio, and Finca. If you find that, you get to the lawyer, and the lawyer is going to find you in 15 minutes. The last owner of the property that makes the transaction to buy the property. And then you're going to see a list of those people, and then you start looking for those people. Those people are you're going to find some of them that are dead and some of them that are alive. Most of them went to the States. So you can find them in the States. My best thing is having a good lawyer behind me.
Yeah, you make it sound very easy, and I know that it is not very easy.
It's not very easy.
And it is not quick.
No.
I mean, it is a painful process. Again, we've looked for people for a couple of years sometimes before we find them. You've done it much quicker than that, but even when you identify a property, it could take months and months.
It will take months.
Yeah, and then you have to bring them all to the island, all into one place, and there may be 3 cousins and a brother and a sister and an uncle, and they all have to come at the same time and agree.
Yes, only one guy say no, Robert.
Then you can't do it.
You can do it. Yeah. Everybody have to agree to sell the property.
And that has frustrated me because in the States, we like to find these kind of conflicts and purchase individuals' interests, right? And then accumulate as much as we can, and then go work with the people that are saying no. But it seems that there's not really a process for that. I can't buy up everybody else who's in agreement and then just deal with the one black sheep that doesn't want to sell.
If you want to do it that way, then you have to go to a lawyer to tell the judge, so the judge can tell the other owners, okay, this one doesn't want to sell, you have to sell. And you have to sell for the price of the offer.
Oh, so it can be done.
It can be done, but it's a process that is going to take a while.
It's not a process that I want to necessarily get into. I'm not trying to force people to sell to us either, right?
I'm going to give you a secret right now. You know how to do it, and it's working for me for the last 10 years. You have 10 people in the group, no? And there's one guy who doesn't want to sell. And for these 9 other people, they're going to take in a house $100,000. That's an example. So each one is going to take $10,000. So you talk to those 9 guys and tell them, hey, can you sacrifice $2,000 each? So this guy, instead of getting $10,000, he get 20. And they only lost $2,000, but they're going to get $8,000. Most of the time, Robert, 85% I think. They say yes. You know the thing. Money talks, and then the other thing works, no?
That's right.
So when they say, okay, the group have their money, this guy has more money than those guys, but the house is going to be sold.
Yeah.
That's one alternative that I use.
Let's talk about some of the deals that we've done together, because now we're working closely on a few deals. You've recently done a couple of flips, or you're about to sell one that we're partnered on. You just sold one that we were partnered with you on, and today we're going to sign a contract on a third one where hopefully we're going to flip it very quickly and make some money.
I work in houses that goes from 180 down. Most of the time I don't work houses for 180. But when Robert come in and I say, okay, if you help me do the deal, you lend me the money, I can do the deal because it's a great house. I know the place. So I bought the house for 190. We put about, I think it was $100,000.
Yeah.
And we sold it for a good profit.
Yeah.
It was a long project because the house was in a very bad shape. But we ain't doing much money. We earn about 12-15% profit. It's not bad.
That's one guy we recently had on the show said he looks for 15% profit on his deals, and I think you did a little better than that. But
But that's one thing that we talk about. Sometimes you teach me how you have to be 15 and up. Yeah. In Puerto Rico, most of the time, the properties are used to be very undervalued. So people get 25, 30 investors, local investors, and that was great for them.
Right.
Okay. So in the Remanso project, we went up with a beautiful project. The house was destroyed.
Yeah.
So we went doing the floors, doing the windows, doing the kitchen. The whole thing was done with my criteria. And that's one thing that you have to consider when we talk to the next project, Jardines Metropolitano.
Yeah.
That's a very thing that it weighted my decision to buy the other house.
Yeah.
Because in the first house, as you know, as you remember, that was completely destroyed. I went all in.
You did everything.
Everything, yeah. Robert. I put everything new.
Yeah.
Windows, floors, kitchen. I say beautiful project. One thing that I make was, I think, my error. I don't ask the owner, the guy who was going to buy the house,
what he wanted.
What he wanted in the house. Immediately after you buy the property, my thing is put a sign on there. People are gonna appear and they're gonna make offers. So for the other project, Jardines Metropolitano, I did that.
Yeah, fast forward to the next deal, you learned from the last deal.
Yes,
now tell us about that.
Yeah, so I finished the Remanso deal. We sold the property. It took about 6 months to do the whole thing with the bank. That's one thing that is very friendly in Puerto Rico with the banks. Sometimes have problems, but if you know the people on the bank, they move. So I went to Jardines. The owner of the property in Remanso was the one who referred to the other property.
Yeah.
Because when I finished the project, I established a relationship with the owners and with the buyers. And the buyers say, oh, there was a great house. I have another house from a friend of mine that wants to sell. That's a point that you have to, don't forget that, because that's very important in Puerto Rico. People tend to be a friend for some friend and other friends. You know the thing.
The relationship island, as
yes.
I've heard it called here. And it really is, and it is that you get your next deal from the people that you're working on the current stuff with. So you and you told me as we were walking around the house here that you're flipping now, you've already got 2 more in the neighborhood
with that same
from the neighbors, right? And, right across the street, you're making offers and stuff like that. So that's a really great way to find your next project.
Yeah, just talk to the guy, talk to the person, be nice to them, and they will refer to other persons. So we finished Remanso deal. I learned my mistakes and the ones that I not made over there. So I went to the Jardines. I bought the property for 120. The thing is that I went to the CRIM, and the CRIM was I think it owes about $30,000. But you have to remember, property tax in Puerto Rico, the law says that you pay 5 years and the current year. For that process, when you get your factura, you invoice from the CRIM, don't be afraid and don't go like, what? Because if you go over there to the office, they have to give you 5 years and the present year. The other $1,000, $6,000, $10,000, $50,000, they're gonna erase that. So that's a point that you have to get when you're buying a property in Puerto Rico.
Taxes are sort of negotiable, or there's at least a system where you can have them come down. So.
Yeah, so that's one thing, Robert, that people come from the States and see, they ask for the CRIM, how much they owe. They say $30,000, but $30,000 and the price doesn't make it for me. But if you go to the CRIM or hire somebody that knows, go over there, you're gonna see that it's 5 years and the present. And it's a process to do that.
Yep.
So that's what I did in Jardines. So I went offering to 120, but I deduct to the owners the CRIM. So it's a retainer for the whole amount. And then I went to the CRIM to negotiate that amount. But I have that return. So I give them $95,000, $35,000 they owe. So I keep that money in the bank. So I pay them $95,000.
Right.
So, and then, that's a secret, you can keep the CRIM payment until you sold the house. So,
You get the use of the cash while you're doing the negotiations,
Yeah,
and while you're selling the house to the end buyer.
Yeah, to the end buyer.
Yeah,
And then,
brilliant.
yeah, and then you can have some money and you pay them, they're happy, you're happy, and you have money to put on the house. So when on Remanso, from Remanso to Jardines, so I put the sign and start cleaning the house. And a guy come in, he show in, and he say, hi, how you doing? Please show me the house. Right away, he make an offer for the house. And I told the guy, okay, I can do it two ways. Go do the whole renovation and pay for it and put it on the price. And the price is gonna be higher. Or you can tell me what you want on the house and what you don't want on the house.
Right.
And that will save me money and time.
Yep.
So the guy went with his wife and told the kitchen, I don't want the kitchen. The bathroom, I'm gonna fix all the bathrooms. 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. Okay, do you want to take out the window? Don't take out the windows because he likes the metal window.
The older
Miami.
windows,
Miami, because the gauge is a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
No, so they say don't take out the windows because we want the windows, take out the doors and put new doors.
Yeah.
So I did what they told me to do and I saved a lot of money. Okay, my budget for that house was about $25,000.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to put in a new kitchen because they were going to put in a new kitchen. So you made the kitchen so that it would pass an FHA inspection.
And
you saved a lot of money. And then in the bathrooms, it had 1970s tile, but you left it there, it passes inspection. Now they're going to go in and do their own renovations to the kitchens and the bathrooms, but that's not on your dime. They got to buy the house significantly less than if you had renovated it. And who knows, you might have put in a beautiful kitchen and beautiful bathrooms, and they want a completely different look, and they come in and they tear out everything you just did, and they've paid more money, and so the way you did it was really, really smart, and you cut down your timeline. So Romanzo, I think we took a little over a year. This one, what do you start to finish? Maybe it's going to last 6 months because you're hoping to close before the end of the month. I think
it's 3 months. It's 90 days.
90 days.
90 days, renovation, loan, and everything. It's going to take
a 90-day flip in Puerto Rico is really, really fast.
It's really fast.
From Florida, we might think, oh, well, that's 90 days. That sounds about right. But that's just not the way here in Puerto Rico.
It's not the way.
90 days, it's like, that's really fast. All of the stuff that you've told them to do, while they could do it on their own, I'm going to tell them right now, just hire Juan. Save yourself the brain damage, save yourself the time, the extreme headache that it will cost you, and hire Juan, and he will take care of it. He's done it for us. Thank you, Juan, for everything.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's go do some more deals.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching, you guys. We believe that we put out more content about Puerto Rico, especially real estate in Puerto Rico and real estate investing. We invite great, talented locals and others that are coming to the island. We showcase people that are doing wonderful things here. And that's why you come, and that's why you watch the PR Consultants YouTube channel. So don't forget to like, comment, smash the subscribe button for us. God bless everybody.
Bienvenido to Puerto Rico, my friends.